Cassius Clay changes his name to Muhammad Ali. Pacific Airlines Flight 773 crashes near San Ramon, California, killing all 44 on board. And Nelson Mandela, along with 7 others, are sentenced to life in prison in South Africa. The year is 1964. And this was the Elwood Ingle over at Imperial. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like, the automotive channel that digs cars that never get talked about. History, specs, design. Also, if you have a car in your personal collection that you would like featured on the channel, drop me a line either in the comment section or send me an email. We post between 4 and 5 episodes a week with engine episodes on Wednesday. If that sounds of interest, a channel that you will totally dig, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. In 1964, buyers had 2 choices, 2 model offerings over at Imperial: Crown and LeBaron. The LeBaron only came in one body style, 4-door, hardtop. For those that may not know Imperial, the model, Imperial was Chrysler's primo brand and was part of Chrysler's model lineup until 1954. 1955, Imperial becomes its own make, giving Chrysler 5 brands to go toe-to-toe with General Motors, Plymouth, Dodge, DeSoto, Chrysler, Imperial at the top. DeSoto would shutter in 1961. Imperial would run from 1955 through 1983. It's worth mentioning there was no Imperials between 1976 through 1978, but buyers could buy the Chrysler New Yorker Brougham, which is kind of the same thing if we're honest, resurrected for 1999 through 1993, being canceled for good in 1993. But it's worth mentioning, in 2006, there was a concept car sporting the name Chrysler Imperial. This era of Imperial is understated elegance. Chrysler was able to bring over Elwood Ingle from Ford. Ingle designed the understated but elegant Lincoln Continental. Ingle era at Imperial was 64, 65, 66. Elwood Ingle replaced Virgil Exner in 1961 and began to influence surface styling in 63, his very first Chrysler product being the turbine car. 1964 saw a redesign, so let's compare 63 on top, 64 on the bottom. Starting in the front, two completely different designs. The 63 has floating headlights with turn signals above. On the 64, turn signals have been relocated to inside the bumper cutout on the bottom side. Split grills on the 64 versus single on the 63. Both have opposing windshield wipers and wraparound windshield. Way bigger hood opening on the 64. Moving to the side profile, vent windows look the same. Roof lines have been revised. Wheel wells, wheel covers have also been revised. Moving aft, the rear glass has different profiles between these two. Taillights have been relocated from the fenders to the bumpers. The 63 trunk slopes, whereas the 64 is more squared off but has a beveled end and spare tire bulge. Jumping inside to take a closer look at the dash and interior situation, both completely different. Oval steering wheel on 63 versus a more traditional steering wheel on the 64. Which one do you like better? Standard equipment included but not limited to power vent windows, 6-way power seats, walnut interior trim, push-button automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes, power windows, remote mirror, variable speed wipers, backup lights, undercoating. Options. Not getting into all of the options, but here are a few. Autopilot, which is what they called cruise control. Transistor, AM, FM radio, custom covered roof. 12 interior colors available. Adjustable steering wheel, air conditioning, power door locks. Let's talk specs. 227.8 inches long, 80 inches wide, 58.8 inches tall. It rides a wheelbase of 129 inches. It weighs 4,970 pounds. Price is around $6,000, which is equivalent to you spending $59,693.61 in the year 2024. Total 1964 Imperial production was 23,295 units. Moving on to engine, only one engine on offer, 413 cubic inch displacement, overhead valve V8 6.8 liters. It's good for 340 horsepower at 4,800 RPM, 470 pound-feet or 637 Newton meters at 2,400 RPM, with a bore of 4.18 inches and a stroke of 3.75 inches. Compression is 10-1. When backed with a 3-speed automatic torque flight, 0 to 60 could be had in 7.7 seconds with a theoretical top speed of 125 miles per hour while achieving an average 9.7 miles to the gallon. And these are all just jumping off points. Mileage may vary. This car uses body-on-frame construction. The frame, it uses a perimeter ladder frame with 6 cross members, full-length outboard side rails. Suspension, independent front suspension with torsion bars, ball joint pivots, Hotchkiss drive, leaf springs in the rear. Brakes are self-adjusting, flared brake drums, bonded linings, 12-volt electrical system. This 1964 Imperial LeBaron 4-door hardtop is currently for sale at Classic Auto Mall, Morgantown, Pennsylvania, with over 1,000 cars for sale when recording this episode. And get this, anybody can go peruse their inventory, whether that be online or in person, for directions, hours of operation, and to get the scoop on this 1964 Imperial LeBaron. Be sure to click the link below after the show. Let's talk styling. It's just where to begin on this absolute gorgeous car. I guess we'll start down here. Look at how this protrudes outward, but not just that, it angles. Notice the lights with it. I don't know if you can see, but they're angled. Also these lights protrude out. Just check out those bezels. Imperial, nice and proud right here. I love this grille. And it has this floating appearance. The bumpers, just look at how this part comes out here. It's got this bright trim that runs the fender. It runs the length of the car, but not just that. Notice how it comes to a point here, but as you follow it up, it's channeled. And it runs the length of the car like that. Turn signals are underneath. Look at how it comes to a point here in the center. It's beveled down ever so slight. Center line going up to the Imperial ornament or mascot. There is a center line in the hood that goes back to the wraparound windshield. This hood profile is relatively smooth for the opening part of the hood. It does have a center line, but when you look at the hood from this angle, it has a bunch of different lines going on. I hope I'm doing this justice because there's so much going on with this hood design. See how it raises up there, but then it slopes back down and then it connects with the fender. Just look at all the bright work separating color on this car. The stainless accents this color really nicely. The fenders are flared ever so slightly. This one's sitting on 15-inch wheels. LeBaron nice and proud there. This one does have rocker molding. Look at where the side mirrors are attached. Also look at how they are designed. This one has a power antenna just in front of it. External cowl vent with opposing windshield wipers. Just look at how massive this wraparound windshield is and how it connects to the vent windows. This car doesn't have drip rails. It has this molding piece at the top, but no drip rails. Just look at this, like it almost looks like a skeg, like a side fin that comes out here. And it starts just above the rear wheel well, which is also somewhat flared just like the front one. Look at how these bumpers are designed. Brake lights, backup lights. I absolutely love how this is concaved back here. Beautiful imperial insignia there, as well as imperial on the top. Has a center line in the trunk leading up to the back glass. So getting inside, this is the passenger side door, and this door is super heavy. Also wanted to show you how this door operates. It's super heavy. I can't even convey how heavy this door is. But just look at how it works. Super heavy, but man, look at this. You have the armrest, door handle to get out. One of these switches is for the window, the other one is for the vent window. This one's for door lock. This opens, secret compartment. How cool is that? It's got carpeting at the bottom. Beautiful imperial. Just look at how there's wood on the side of the seats with the LeBaron. Just take a look at this interior. I'm going to show you the controls on the door here. This one also has a cubby hole, secret cubby hole, which would be a great place to put a pen, because you always know that you need a pen while you're out. This is the door handle to get out. These control all of the windows, which are electric operated, and I'm guessing the top ones are for the vent windows. It's got power vents. Door locks up here. Just look at the vents on this dashboard. This dashboard's pretty thick. Like, here's my arm for reference. Deep, I should say. There's this doohickey here on the dashboard. I'm pretty sure that that's automatic headlight dimmer. Here is what over the hood looks like. Here's what first person over the hood looks like. Man, this is a big, masculine car. Look at the wraparound windshield. There is no blind spots here. Just incredible. On to the button switches and knobs, starting on the left and moving right. Park slider, drive modes read, reverse, neutral, drive, second, first, headlights, mirror, wipers, rear air, autopilot, which was their terminology for cruise control, key/ignition, speedometer with left turn signal indicator, trip reset, tripometer, as well as odometer, right turn signal indicator, clock, high beam indicator, gasoline gauge, coolant temperature, oil pressure, amp meter, heat and ventilation controls, off, max cool, fresh cool, defrost, heat, slider for warmer, power antenna, radio. If you missed any, here's a diagram explaining what the button switches and knobs do.
Up above, there are sun visors. They're massive. There's my hand for reference. My hand is 7.5 inches long, just to give you an idea of how big this sun visor is. Daytime, nighttime mirror in the center, as well as another sun visor over here with courtesy mirror so that you can see yourself. Massive ashtray with cigarette lighter. To the glove box test. Here is our test subject. Here is my hand for reference. Here is the glove box in question. This glove box also has the cup holder indentations. Look at that. No problem. No problem at all. It fits in there just fine and shuts. These seats are super plushy. Very, very plushy seats. It has a center armrest here. But notice it stacks up here in the center. So I guess, so you can put your hand on it like that. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get in the back because there's a Datsun parked real close, but I just wanted to show you what the back looks like. The back doors do not have the secret compartment inside the door panels, which is kind of a shame, but it has these nice big chrome door handles to pull the door shut, as well as cigarette lighter. This is what the back looks like. And there's something on the back of the seats. I wish I could get back here so I could show you, but this is all the further the door can open. I can't get in there. Hood release. So getting under the hood, we've already released it from the inside. There's a secondary catch right behind the ornament. The hood is pretty heavy. Just look at how far the radiator wall sits back, and then the engine sits even further back. It's a big car, otherwise it would be mid-engine. That's a joke. Look at the alternator. 2-belt pulley system. Air conditioning compressor. It's got that clear fuel filter. And the fuel pump's down there. It runs off the camshaft. It's got a mechanical fuel pump. 12-volt battery. Also check out this. Single master cylinder with power brake booster attached to it. Power steering. This one's got all kinds of options.
On the positive side, absolutely epic car that you just never see anymore. They don't get the praise and respect that they should. Really nice interior. Came with a lot of power options as standard features and or standard equipment. Very spacious, both front. Couldn't get in the back, but it looked very spacious in the rear. Legendary 413 under the hood. Camera fits in the glove box. Full instrumentation. Against it, it's a big car. It is thirsty. You don't want to get your hand caught in the door. You might not get it back. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather. 2 scenarios today. In the first scenario, would you rather have a 1964 Lincoln Continental or 1964 Imperial LeBaron or 1964 Cadillac Fleetwood? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Moving on to the second scenario. All two-door cars, 1964 Studebaker GT Hawk or 1964 Imperial Crown or 1964 fully optioned or well optioned Ford Thunderbird. Once again, gonna leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to get both the name of the band and the song title correctly in the comment section will have their comment pinned to the top of it. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below, or check out our Facebook group that correlates with this YouTube channel. If you don't have Facebook and would still like to reach me, send me an email. It will all be linked in the description. If it's not in the description, it will definitely be on the homepage. Thank you all so much for making this a car community. I dig the stories and all the information that you guys share in the comment section. Until next time, toodaloo!